Hello, everyone. The market continues to race straight up in another more than insane V-shaped fashion. But I tell you what, on the short term, we're extremely extended. And intermediate term, after I show you the indexes, I want to show you what my oscillators look like. But the Russell 2000 and NASDAQ charged much higher today. The Russell 2000 very powerful, up 1.33%. The good news is that now that we're up like this, I would think that it's almost for certain that what we'll need to do is just consolidate the gains and that we will continue higher. Once again today, breadth was really good. There were a ton of new highs. We're just overbought, but there's a lot of stocks out there that while their patterns aren't loaded with accumulation, the rounding is starting to occur in stocks not already hitting new highs in a wedging V-shaped low rally situation. I'm finally starting to see money come out of the bonds, so that's another potential positive for stocks in the shorter term. But like I said, just short term, it's just a little, a little quote. It's a lot ridiculous right now. It's been very, very entertaining post Brexit. Definitely not expected, and there's really nothing I can do. At least I'm nearly half still invested in stocks that are doing well, outperforming the market, doing very well. But unfortunately, a lot of recent long signals, the market, all these gaps and these crazy moves are sending stocks gapping beyond my limits. And one of them today was IHS, which is actually would be giving a great ad signal. But I wanted to get ahead of it before this stock and MRKT merged to become, I believe they're going to start trading as Info on Wednesday. But another amazing signal, but there's no, you can't add because the ticker's going to change, and since it missed my limit, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to work with INFO. But once again, just another name that missed my limit orders, nothing I can do. Recent longs have been VEEV, an ad signal in EBIX, and then a new long signal AKOB. Just, you can't do anything. I'm not going to chase in this market. But looking for a pullback and getting back to those indexes, the Russell 2000. You can see that the oscillators here, I know, let me get rid of the moving average if I can. Can I delete the moving average? Yep, I can. So the yellow line here is the RSI, and as you can see, it's nowhere near overbought, but it's still in the overbought territory. TSV is getting to those old high levels, but it still has room to go. But still, with us up around these areas in TSV, it's indicative of a index. It's going to probably have more difficulties shorter term. You can see stochastics, and let me get rid of the stochastics really quick. See the MACD line, nowhere near anywhere overbought yet, so there's still potential for us to continue to move higher. But I would think overall it's going to be a little bit more challenging after this extreme V-shaped move in the short term than anything. And it's like I said, it's not like these things are extremely overbought, but if you look at all these indexes, you can see that they're closer to extremely overbought conditions, and they are closer to even just relatively oversold levels. So as long as that's the case, look at the NYSE TSV. Once again, there's still room to go with the stochastics and MACD lines. It's not like they're completely extremely overbought, but as you can see, we're getting there. I don't know how much more we can run like we're running to the upside. It's not like that we've had any powerful moves on super strong volume. The ETFs look pretty decent with the volume that you see coming in there. But once again, the big distribution still outweighs the accumulation by far. And once again, it's just so odd to see the balance of power so red whenever you're cruising to new highs in these indexes. Just a very odd combination. It's across the board too, IWM, QQQ. So we'll keep all that in mind. There are no high quality long signals this evening. I have two oversold speculative long signals with huge potential rewards to very limited risk situations, but they're still very speculative. Need to be monitored intraday. They're about for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 day swing trades. Remember, the goals of these, I'm only listing them in the chat room right now. The goals of these names are for gains of 5, 10, 50, 25%. But sometimes you have goal. Goal was one of those oversold plays that were giving pocket pivot point signals around the 50-day moving average. It's now up 68%. So every once in a while you get that. INFI is one that's still technically working, but most of the gains should have been taken the day before. But right now, those are the only signals. And today-wise, nothing really triggering, but there's a lot of interesting stocks out there like Twilio, EVA off the 50-day moving average, AVXS off the 50-day moving average, EDUC, building out a consolidation pattern, and then food stocks still like FDP and FIZZ, still watching those closely. GBR is at Fibonacci retracement levels for a potential bigger move higher. You can see how LEDS did today off its Fibonacci retracement levels, not drawn on the chart. You take it from where the move started to close, and you go to the tip top high, and you can see this was one of the 50% retrace, or the 38% retracement level, bounced right off of it. DGLY was one we were watching, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that kind of play because it looks like the protest news isn't spilling over. But overall, these are still all, stocks I'm watching. BGI is one that I'm still watching for a Fibonacci retracement play. But GBR is one of the better setup ones. And, there was just some other names out there, AQMS, RAS, but nothing to take long. And with that note, there are no end-of-day sell signals based on poor price action, but there are some profit-taking signals. SSTK was a recent long. Following this big explosive move, it's up right around 20%. I want to lock in a quarter of the position. The rest we can let it ride, put maybe half the sell stop here and keep the other half right here on the position. That's what I'm thinking of right now. And DLA is now up nearly 25% since its long signal. Excuse me, it's back here. I picked the wrong day. Still same time frame. Right around 24%. So take a quarter off here, and I would probably have the first half of the sell stop right here, and then my final half is still right back here of the position. But definitely want to take a quarter off of DLA and SSTK. But besides that, there isn't much else going on. Just looking at those day trades, swing trades, biggest percent winners in the pre-market that are moving on volume. Besides that, much else going on. REN is also one I'll be now watching for a pullback using Fibonacci retracements for a bounce and looking for 5, 10 to 25% gains, potentially even more. But whenever I'm really looking for the gains off the lows, it really comes with stocks that are very oversold. And you can see MRNS is still basing out, even though I have no position in it. Same with FCSC, but they are still consolidating and haven't given up those gains that we saw earlier.